Hey everybody, I'm sure you are fed up with people mocking prayer. Now, I'm not going to get political, but I am going to stand up and say something about this. First of all, prayer, again, is our direct line of communication to God. If you don't believe in God, then that's your business. But don't mock me if I pray. I'm going to tell you a little story why I believe in prayer. I believe in prayer because one night I was in a car with a stepdad who made me load a gun. He rammed this gun to the side of my head and pulled the trigger. Luckily, my head went back like that, and my hand went up like that before he pulled the trigger. I'll never forget the way that felt. I mean, the sound of that gun going off in my ear was deafening, and the burning on my face. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget how scared I was in that moment when I didn't know if he was going to do it again. And how scared I was when I was trying to get him to stop, and like I was laying on his arm and I was putting all my body weight on his arm. I was like 70 pounds. And I'll never forget praying in that moment. Like, I remember how it felt when I was praying, and I was also talking to him, telling him to please don't shoot me. I remember that. I remember getting out of the car, and I remember running all that entire night and laying down in the median with the grass and getting up running, and every time a car would come by I would lay down and just scratched up, and I remember praying. So I remember praying many times as a kid. I remember praying when I was mad, and I would be so mad at God and be like, man, I am so mad because I'm hungry, and it's just like you're letting me go through this. And then I remember praying many times one night when my mom came over to my sister's house, and she brought a guy over to shoot my brother-in-law. And I remember praying in the hallway thinking, man, I hope this doesn't happen because mom's going to go back to prison. And I remember the guy pulling a gun out and accidentally shooting himself on the front porch. And then he and my mom had to leave and go to the hospital. So I remember praying many times as a kid. I remember praying for food. I remember praying that I hope this bully does not kick my tail again today. And the fear, man, of getting on and off of that school bus, and the fear of walking from classroom to classroom, and the fear of just, man, that bully, and that prayer that, I would pray like, man, I just hope he doesn't do it. And then that prayer when I was hungry, and that prayer when I was standing in the yard after Russell passed away, and B walked out of the house. Now, her husband had just passed away, and she walked out and asked me to stay in her home as long as I wanted to. And that prayer was answered. I remember praying praying for my mom many times, that someday she would turn her life around. I remember praying for my dad. I remember praying for everyone I loved. And so I remember praying for those orphans in Guatemala, where I simply have never in my life seen anything like this before, and thinking, my God, how can someone be so broken and poor? And to hear people mock prayer, I don't even know how to put it in words. It really makes me mad. Man, I know this. God didn't promise there wouldn't be hardships and pain and struggles. He did promise He would help you through them. So when people start mocking people at a church who was praying, who ended up dying, then for them to turn that around and say, well, if prayer really worked, you wouldn't have been killed. No. There's evil in this world. That's all there is to it. Folks, I don't know about you, but we have got to do something about this stuff. Because if I'm attacked for praying applies to everyone who prays to whatever God they believe. It doesn't just apply to Christians. So if you're going to play that card, then it has to apply across the board to everyone. So if you don't want me praying and you're going to call me out and make fun of me, well, then it's only fair that you do that to the next person. But we don't want you doing that, because I don't want you to be making fun of anyone praying. I mean, it's hope. It's our hope. It's like, man, I just hope that this pain will end. And so when I'm praying, the last thing I want to see is or hear someone make fun of me, because I'm like, you obviously haven't been there. You obviously have not been through it. I don't know your background. I don't know your history, but you haven't been in a place where you've relied on prayer, because that was the only thing there was. I'm talking about when you're so down and broken to the point where you don't have a family member who's willing to help you. You don't have friends who are able to help you because they don't know where you are. You're a kid, or you're lost when you're at that place in your life, folks. And I'm telling you, it's so hard to explain it so that you really and truly understand it. But I'm talking about when you're so hungry that you go into a survival mode and you just almost freak out. And people look at me now and they see this guy that's like writing books or whatever, and it's like, folks, my life has changed because of prayer. It's because of prayer. That's what I used to do as a kid. I'd pray all the time. I would pray myself to sleep. Is that the reason why I'm here? Well, you say, well, you can't prove it. Well, you can't prove it. You can't prove it doesn't work. So, if I'm here and praying is how I got here, then I choose to believe it works. I am fed up with this place, man. Fed up with these knuckleheads We have got to unfollow people on social media that causes this. I don't care if they're your friends. I don't care if they're your high school friend. Click the unfollow button. Click it. Don't repost. Don't respond. Don't do retweet. Nothing. Just unfollow, because that's the way you. If you share it one time, you're sharing it with all of your followers. You just got to quit it and get rid of these people. Get them out of your toxic. Get them out of your life. And start putting out good stuff. Even through all of this, you've got to still speak good and positive. Send the positive energy and the light. And through all of this nonsense that we're seeing right now in this world where, people say it's the right or left. I don't even believe that. I believe it's just pure meanness, pure demonic spirit. I don't think it's a right or left thing, because I don't even think people even understand what that means, because they're comparing themselves to a president. It's like, I'm nothing like that guy, but I'm also nothing like that person. So I'm not right or left, but I don't agree with you, and I certainly don't agree with you. So I think it's demonic. I don't think there's, or if you're right or left, and all of these, we're liberals or we're conservatives. It's like, you don't even know what you are. You're just, you've got your rear end on your shoulders about something. You can't control something. Nobody cares what. It's just so frustrating. And it's adults. It's not kids. It's adults causing all the problems in the world right now. Think about it. It's grown-up people. Grown-ups. Just acting so ridiculously, unbelievably stupid. Like adults. Adults on social media. Just, you see kids being kids. I saw a kid riding a skateboard this morning, like coming down of a sidewalk, crossing a busy road, and I'm like, now that's a kid. Didn't even look. Whoa. I was like, that's living right there, man. He, luckily he didn't get hit by a car, but, it's like, they're not out causing problems. Kids running around a table, laughing and wrestling and all this stuff that they're doing. I'm like, man, look how happy they are. And look at us. Just go look in the mirror and say, look at somebody in the grocery store or wherever, and just look at the sadness and the mean spirits on these people. Everywhere you go, it's just like people are walking through the airport today, and it's like, I'm like, is anybody happy? Is anyone content? Or it's just so unbelievably dark and filled with so much self-righteousness and God, I tell you what, when we were in Detroit, we met some wonderful people there who were helping kids, and I saw these girls who were broken, pitiful. God, they were pitiful, man. I tell you, they were so pitiful. And when you see that, and you see that, and you compare that to this other stuff. I mean, Stephen King on social media acting so stupid, saying some of the stupidest things you can. It's like, man, shut up and write a book about the same old clown that you've written about 100 times. Shut up. Go write something really great. Something that's going to really help somebody. We have enough demons in the world. We have enough anxiety and pain. It's like, and these new artists or these old artists coming out with these new songs about snakes and just getting somebody back and revenge and then all this other stuff. It's like, what's wrong with these people, man? They have a platform like no one else. They have an opportunity to impact someone's life. They have a platform that's only 40 people have in the world. There's a top 40, right? 40 slots. And what do they choose to do? Sing a bunch of stuff that's just like causing more pain and more darkness. No light, spreading no love, just more darkness. Demonize. Watch the new video, and it's his eyes turning into a devil, and I'm like, really? Why? Why are we even promoting that? People won't support anything good. Not that honestly to God, I don't care if they do or don't get behind my book. I don't even do it for them. I don't do it for these people in this town. I don't do it for adults. I'm doing it for these kids who truly need to hear something positive. And so I've gone around these people, and I'm getting to and into the places where I need to be to share my story and these books and this music with the kids. So whether or not these people support or not, that's up to them. If they want to get on the bandwagon and get behind something that's good, positive, fine. But if they don't, fine. I'm moving on. Just like I've always done. But folks, we really need, we have got to knock it off. Just, I'm not your boss. I'm really nobody. This is my opinion. I'm just saying that you have the power. You're an adult. You have a lot of power. Kids are watching every single move you make. You may not think they are, but they are. Turn that TV off. If you get one little squeak of nonsense, drama, darkness, click the off button. Just like that little ladybug that just flew on my head because my window's open. Sorry, guys. She's like crawling on me at night. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, man, any of the social media stuff, click that stuff off. Just shut it down. And speak positive energy. Speak light. If you're a believer, great. If you're not, you still can speak light. Speak good. Just don't entertain that crap, guys. It's been proven over and over and over that it's all lies anyway. It's just the media wants to stir stuff up to keep ratings, to make money. Even if they find out it's a lie, they still keep stirring up something else. I mean, it's just gotten to the point now where everybody's just like, man, I don't trust anybody. I don't even watch that. I don't trust any of them. Folks, pray. Stand your ground. We are in some very rough times. Alright, so I'm going to click off, and I was trying to read a little bit here, but that's all I got. I just had to get that out. It's kind of like take a Coca-Cola bottle and you shake it and then you loosen it. But anyway, we'll talk later.